Welcome to Rabbit and Steal. This is a game where you are a rabbit and you steal yourself. When you first open up this game, you get presented with a cutscene though, where a depressed rabbit is asking the moon itself to be its friend, and surprisingly, the moon actually responds. You then get to pick your person, which is either Fairy Harry Potter, or Dr. Yves Harmachist, the average Greysword user, just the actual normal bunny, and Terraria Summoner. You also get to pick an outfit. On this Wonder Adventure, you get to meet 5 different people. Your adventure begins on the outskirts, where you have 3 people that you do not care about and just beat the absolute crap out of. Why? Because they're your first tutorial people. Do they matter? No, not to the story either. Why? Because they are pathetic and weak, like this frog girl here. No, they do not go with it. Fortunately. If you wonder why we're beating the crap out of people, I'll explain in a second. Be calm. For these first few fights, you get this giant ball that gives you stuff from the moon itself. Why? I don't know. And this is the roguelite element, where you can get stuff that's very good or very worthless. Yes, I have gotten items that scale at the final boss, and items that are really good but break the second you get hit, literally on the first fight, and then lost it because I wasn't paying attention. And I bet you have noticed the plethora of people we have always beaten the crap out of, with a dragon and a frog. Why are we beating the crap out of them? Because there has been a spell placed upon this land that makes everyone upset like they haven't eaten food in 5 minutes. And they are all having a woman moment. Because there is no men here, only women. It is also always nighttime because that giant town distance only exists at night. Why? I don't know. And here, we have the tutorial wolf girl. Like a true wolf, she runs back and forth like zoomies, thinking that she is a cat when she's actually a dog. What's the difference? I don't know. Both people keep them as pets, so I don't think there is a difference. The big circle around with the HP is their hitbox. Your hitbox is not the same. Your hitbox is that tiny fucking golden donut of Jesus' anus. Ooh. And after fight, you get loot. Well, not loot. Sometimes you get orb, and sometimes you get to do shop. Welcome to the Scholar's Nest, where all the Krogors live. Why are they Krogors? I don't know. I'm poor. Welcome to the Krogors. You probably think they're perfectly normal. Well, as you expect from a Krogor, they control gravity itself. Don't ask me why. They just control gravity. But fortunately, gravity does not stop Terraria Summoner from sending a bunch of people to die in the black hole instead of me. It does, however, stop me from being able to hit them because they walk away from my summon. You now see we have a little map at the top, We had that in the tutorial area, but we don't worry about that. We worry about that now. Why? Oh yeah, the cool girls also like to chain you up. Why? I don't know, but this one has a fancy piece of metal in their hat that's shiny. That makes them the best one. Why? Because I too like shiny objects and get distracted easily by a shiny pebble on the side of the road. Why do I get so distracted so easily? Don't worry about it. I don't know either. The cool girls specialize in being smart. Why? I don't know. They just love knowledge in the stars. Probably because the stars are shiny. This is a second command. When you get to an actual location, you have a second command, which is much stronger. This person thinks they're the student council from an anime show, and we're gonna teach in reality a student council does not fucking matter, has no power, and we are going to kick your shit in for being a fucking nerd. As you can see, she wants to show that she's smart by making a fuck ton of shit on the screen. However, we can sidestep it, like any character from Dragon Ball Z. This might have been a mistake, but it's actually not. Because even though I've never been to college like this entitled student council wants me to, I have never been to college and have no reason to. I cannot afford it. I am poor. And as you see, this looks scary. Is it? No, not really. I'm simply going to sidestep it. Like everyone should when a woman tries to get in your way and tell you that she is a girl boss. Just step to the side of her, cause she's probably 5'2". So after beating the shit out of the student council wannabe, we get to one of these orbs again. You get one now, right before the boss. So if you can't beat the shit out of someone, you don't get more power. Now, we have the leader, the college professor that says this will not be on the test, only when you will graduate, because my class is so hard. As they teach you absolutely fucking nothing and expect you to just automatically know shit like a gift Yankee using astral knowledge. We are going to do the same thing to her as we did to the student council's pet that she has, and beat the shit out of her, and show her that we do not care that you are the little teacher. You are retarded, and we are going to beat you to death because of it. Can you please let go of me? Thank you. He's trying to keep us in our class after the bell, because he says the bell doesn't dismiss you, I do, which fun fact is technically a war crime. But then again, a war crime only applies during times of war. Why? Don't ask me, I'm just trying to make it through the day. A worthy pupil, you finally recognized us after we broke your shoulder. Can you mind grasp these insights? As she throws a giant fucking orb at us. Cool, and then chains us up. But we do not care, cause even though it does even though it would be interesting to be chained up in a woman's basement, I like food too much to be allowed to be separated from my mini fridge. And as all the bosses do now, they go full 40. Why? I don't know. I know that she becomes a crow, has a book and a fancy sweater, and can freeze time. Why can the college professor freeze time? Don't ask me. I'm trying not to get the shit beaten out of me as I beat the shit out of her. See? She bends time to instruction. Why? She then gives you a bunch of shit to remember, which can very easily be simply sidestepped. And or we can steal ourselves. to just not take damage because we do not care about your test. We are answering B on everything, as the Simpsons said. Or maybe it's answer C, the actual answer. I do not care. I got these, and these are passing at my school, so we are good. What's my SAT score? I don't know. I just know it was in the 20s. Another quantity, with for using fancy language. Why? I don't know, and I don't care. I do know to go this way. Why? Because I guessed. And got correct. She then puts a circle around you to try to tell you to stay put and not move around in class, or she's going to drug you out with that ADHD cure medicine that's just a different name of crack cocaine. But instead of making you crazy, it makes you depressed. I wonder why so many people are on depression meds nowadays. Her intelligence will guide the stars. Well, you are wrong. Your intelligence will guide this magical staff I have into your brain. Cool, I don't know what you told me to do, nor do I care, because I have better stuff to do than listen to your college bullshit. Like teleport, and then throw a butterfly at you, cause this butterfly shoots a laser. Why? I don't know. Now that she has had this shit being awful, we can leave the campus finally, because you do not dismiss you, I do, when I break your ankle and leave. Welcome to the Red Dark House, where all the dragon girls are. And as awesome as the dragon girls are, these ones are all depressed. Why? Don't ask me. As you notice, I did not heal. Why? Don't need to. These two dragon girls are, as far as we know, not lesbians, but confirmed by the dev, they do show room. That is all we know. You'll also notice that there was two of them at once. That is not a unique gimmick. Everyone has a tag team except for the crows. They are the only ones that only fight you in 1v1 armored combat because they think they're playing for honor, and everything has to be one-on-one, or you are shit at the game and should kill yourself. After beating the shit out of these two dragon girls, we move on to probably my favorite fight in the game. Why? She's dripped out of her fucking mind, and she has cubes. Why are cubes cool? Is it because I loved Minecraft? And I can't think of other games. I was absolutely shit at Tetris. I love Tetris, but I was shit at it. But Vengeance Story I was good at, and that's also cubes. 7 Days to Die also has cubes, but no, it's because I love playing that puzzle game on the DS where you have to decorate different colors of a Rubik's Cube and then have it parkour. I loved it. It was awesome. It was amazing. I love puzzle games. I also love bullet hells. But as everyone else here who's under the spell that makes everyone upset, we are going to beat the shit out of her. Next, we have probably the hardest fight in the game for the longest time for me. And then I figured out, what if I just beat the shit out of you like everyone else that's under the angry, upsetty tummy Holt spell? Because she goes full forward even though she's not a boss. So far, she is probably the only one that does this and also poses a threat. Every other person that goes full forward without being the boss is an absolute pushover. Do I care? No. Also, she likes to shit talk you. This is not a unique thing to her. She's practicing you for the boss. Cause yes, the boss of Dragon Girls is racist and shit talks you and hates you just because you're a rabbit. Why? Don't ask me. I don't get why the Dragon Girls are racist to rabbits. It's just what they do. Now you probably wonder, what do we do here? Well, quite simple. We kill her. You do not need to dodge the attacks if you simply beat her into fucking submission. We get our reward. Pain, agony. And this time mage cape. Why? Why not? Now, as you expect it, yeah, she immediately starts talking shit to you. But I don't think she gets racist till she goes full forward. Cause remember, if you think of Foley as racist, wait till they get the persona. It gives them a +3 to intimidation checks when they are throwing a fit about race-related shit while they are Foley. She will also give you a compliment very rarely. But this is probably my end. But no problem, because we have other things we need to show you. Because we only get to see 3 of them before we get to the end. And then she throws this math problem at you. Simply stand in the corner and scream and feel. If you do this good enough, you'll hopefully live. If not, you are dead. What do you do in this situation? I don't know. I'ma sit beneath her, because as the bottom bitch you are, you get to live. This time, we get to top without, do we live? Surprisingly, maybe for a bit longer. This is where she makes a big circle and cuts the circle in half. But unfortunately, I can sidestep. Because unlike a handicapped person, we have legs. Sage shields, that's not a shot at the handicap, that's a shot at the Follies. When she goes full forward, she gets more racist to you. Shocking. She's also big. Now, am I afraid of her? No. Am I afraid to scratch my nose? Yes. Speaking of the depressed dragon, remember how I told you about at the very beginning when you open this game, you get a cutscene? Yes, that cutscene with the depressed rabbit talking to the moon. She shows up way later in the story. She kills herself and dies. That's her whole purpose, to show up, be depressed, and die. Does she have more purpose than that? No. Why did she exist, just to be depressed and kill herself? I don't know, she's a woman. I think it's like The Secret Life or something like that. But I do not care. What I do care about is trying to be the sheriff before she makes us do math. Why? Because math is scary. She's going to make us do math. And by math, I mean geology. I pass, can you tell? As I stay here in absolute fear and panic my thing and lose my ability. Luckily, we have Stoneston to tank one hit. Why? Because I have this great sword. Nothing but your black bones will remain. Why? I don't know. She truly thinks she can win. But I will let you know that I have a butterfly. I'm Terraria Summoner, and well, we have math to do. Luckily, I can spam this ability. Not needed, so I wasted it. But hey, we can still try. I'm going to stand here and scream and feel internally because it's not real. It's all an illusion, and we are going to beat the crap out of her. Now that we successfully helped this depressed dragon girl by beating her half to death, we get our reward. The King's Arsenal. This is where the Wolf Girl Follies are. They're all Goku, they all won't be the strongest, and they're all buffed. Now then, let's actually talk about this merchant girl. She's the only other person that is not throwing the bitch fit because of the magical spell that's been cast on the land that makes everyone pissed off and want to get in a fist fight. I talk about her here because as the dev showed in the DLC, she's gone, and the different wolf girl is here instead. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. As you as you may not know, leveling up actually makes a difference. It's not just a score thing. It gives you more damage. Now, what do you think the wolf goes control? That's right, the fucking wind. The wolf goes have control over wind itself. Why? Don't ask me. They just have control over the wind. Which makes it to where you can barely distinctly move around. Luckily for us, we are not incapable, because I had my ankle fucking jacked up and had to hop around by hopping everywhere, so I know how to deal with the wind. It has nothing to do with my small size. I get blown around the wind like a paper bag with a single thing in it. Here we have two wolf cores that actually go full 40 and put you in a Jenga cube. It feels like a practice for Devourer of God from Troy Calamity. But, unlike that, much easier and a better reward. Cause instead of killing a giant cosmic gummy worm, ow, you get thrown against the wall, the shit being out of you, and you get to kill foes. Nothing beats that. And as you can imagine, when you kill one, the other one is pathetic. Because as we all know, anytime there was there was a 2v1, you don't do well. This is Tasha. Tasha is a goat. With my expert opinion of being diagnosed with autism twice by the man in the government building with a white coat, I can use my second donation on Tasha to give her autism. Why? I'm pretty sure she has it. Am I wrong? Dev never said anything about it, but it would not surprise me. And as you can see with this crazy math problem, are people doing the cha-cha side by Shadow Clone Jitsu? Do I care? No, because I can walk here and be just fine. It also means she takes more damage. Why? Because it was 4 targets to hit. Now then, sometimes there'll be 3 of them. For some reason, there's 3 of them a lot, and they like doing musical chairs. However, I'm good at musical chairs. I did not win musical chairs because I got picked up and thrown off the chair. For some reason, that was allowed by the teacher. Why? Doesn't matter. All I admit is that I did never get twits for winning musical chairs. But that does not matter. What matters is being the shit out of this autistic fuck. What's our reward for being the shit out of 3 wolf gores and an autistic one? It's a small moon treasure spear, which gives us we'll take this. Why? Because our sword slows us down. This speeds us up. Profit. Then we have this wolf gore who has Cloud's Buster Sword. And also like to, call herself a alpha. Well, what that means, because we are about to make her submit and beat the shit out of her. And as you can expect, as a person with greatsword, they'll fairly slow their attacks. But also, because it's a big fucking weapon, she can control the wind. Why? You ever swung a stick in the wind very fast and it went whoosh? It's awesome. It's amazing, isn't it? She also likes to put you in the box. Even though she's a wolf and not a cat, she likes boxes. Does this mean anything significant? No. It simply means that, well, I don't know. Yes, she also likes to scream out her attacks like anime. Why? Who cares? As you'll see, I'm lazy. It was simply iframe do this as she sidesteps my attack. However, she now goes full forward, which as you can guess, she's a wolf with a sword in her mouth and angry eyes. Why? Who cares? She also likes to do even more anime sound effects when she's screaming out her attacks. Like that one guy I can't remember from Avatar that screams sneak attack. But we are simply going to sidestep this, because she mistakenly puts him in a nice pattern where we can just stand on the one color. Like a, what's the thing from chess that goes diagonal? The bishop. She also does like to do this to matrix shit. Why does she do the matrix? I don't know. I just know it simply does not work for her. Simply because we can sidestep it. Even though she gets rid of all iframes inside of it, it can still simply be sidestepped. She also disables abilities that grants you iframes, which can be very annoying when you're playing with a different person that has a giant, has big boobs, and can punch the fuck out of people. Now that that's what's going on, we have something else to do because there are 5 locations we need to go to. So I'll show you that in just a second before we continue on. My mic's been muted this whole fucking time I've been speaking. Awesome, lovely, great, 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 great. You haven't heard a single thing where I hate the Fargos because they tie you up, make you dance, then beat the shit out of you, you fucking little dancing to bipolar. Wonderful, lovely, awesome. Anyways, let's go into the next area since we already been through the King's Arsenal. Welcome to the Emerald Lakeside. I didn't completely talk about just do then realize the mic was muted. No, that didn't happen whatsoever, I swear. So welcome to the Emerald Lakeside, where they actually have music playing here, but we cannot hear it. It's also home to the Fargos, which I hate. Why? That they see anyone weaker than them and not able to escape, chain them to them and then start dancing because they can't find a dance partner, so they find the weak people and dance with them instead. And even though it's completely against our will, they still throw a fit and break our legs like it's our fault when we fuck up the dance, that we don't even know what they're doing. Which gives us perfectly good reason to stab them to death and send them through the stratosphere to their demise. Next we have these two, which are called bipolar, even though there's 2 of them, because they repeatedly tell you to dance, while the other one tells you not to dance, and you fuck up, well, they get pissed at you. Even though y'all literally told me 2 seconds ago that I have to keep moving, but then told me I can't move. Make up your mind. Luckily enough though, even though they are bipolar, they are not immune to getting their shit kicked in. We can also smite them into oblivion. Now that we have sent 2 more fog women into the ground like they dissolved, we get to this one, which is a complete 180. Instead of singing, spinning, dancing, this one stands still and paints. Why? I don't know. But they're a better painter than a different painter, because that painter lost his painting, whatever the fuck it's called, that skull, and started a war. While this painter is perfectly fine, mentally sane, I believe. And can paint a lot while getting stabbed. Isn't that such a good painter? They can paint while getting stabbed and not paying attention. But luckily, even if you're colorblind, they got shapes you can use. What happens if you can't see the shapes? If you can't see the shapes, you're probably blind. And if you're blind, why are you playing the bullet hell? However, we can steal this. And ignore the dance color painting time. Unfortunately, they want to stand way over here where we cannot reach them. However, we can use our magical paladin powers to throw an orb at them. However, we can only throw it perfectly left to right, not up or down. Why? Because the righteous holy paladin, we do not top or bottom people. We are only a switch. I'm sure that's somewhere in the Bible. Never read it. Wherever it's at. It doesn't matter. Because we walked up behind her, stabbed her 18 times in the back, and then are flying away. We would never be guilty because we are a paladin. And they're looking for paladins, not paladins. And what did we get for stabbing a woman? Yeah, we'll take that. Now you're probably wondering, who's the boss of the fog area? Well, you would guess it, it's another fog. But this one has a circle, the Osseous Warmby. Care for that? No, I don't want to. Well, that's too bad, because I'm taller than you, stronger than you, and more dance. So now we're being forced to dance against our will by the foggers. It is awful. I really wish I didn't have to dance, but we do, because if we don't, she's gonna put her other hand on our other shoulder and show us that she has the grip of a vice grip and will cross our shoulder into a fine fucking paste. However, that is okay, because we simply have not fucked up our dance yet. How? I don't know. It could be that we have just did this and then realized the mic was muted the entire fucking time, which got rid of all the sarcasm and our Hitler jokes, and included, I don't remember everything. You got rid of them now. Cool, can I leave? Please let me go. Okay, I've been dragged against my will to go dance and stand in the corner. Is it a cock if you're not in the chair willingly, but the woman literally pinned you down and forced you into the chair? I say is not. It is different, because it's not willing, it's forcefully. Now she's becoming a full fog. She has gone full 40. Let me hear you sing. I do not sing, nor do I read, for that's a song and not sing. Side to side. Once again, she gives us a hint that if you move out of the way of a bullet, it will not hit you. Unfortunately for her, we are a paladin and can tank it. We have a shield, a spear, and now she wants us to sing. While she's getting ready to sing, we will repeatedly smite her and teach her that we do not do opera singing. We do not sing, period. However, we do have magical pokey poke. And through these magical pokes and these orbs we can throw, because we are a paladin and they explode into the star circle, we clearly can win. Now, if you're wondering, like, why these people are as upset they are from the spell, I don't know, because the spell is not the same. The foggers are so obsessed with, like, singing and dancing that they think they don't deserve friends, that everyone hates them, and that they are going to die alone. So they seclude themselves to always sing, believing they're not good enough to have friends. The Dragon Girls are depressed because they're racist and lost to someone they're racist against. The Crow Girls are so obsessed with knowledge, they forgot about friendship. The Wolf Girls, as I said, are like Goku. They don't care about anything about being stronger, so they fist fight all the time. And the last ones you'll find out very soon. Yes, they've been saved for last, because they are my favorites. In the meantime, let's slowly go around this circle of paintings so we can smite this fog alive. Well, the fog did not die from being smited. Luckily, we can throw this orb at them. And there they go, down to the bottom. And now that that's done, we don't have to worry about painting anymore. The Scholar's Nest. Give me 2 seconds and I'll be back with the last one. Welcome, luckily in the same one, to Churchmouth Streets. My favorite. Churchmouth Streets, unlike everyone else that's like sad, mopey, or they're constantly struggling to find that they're worthy to have a friend. The Churchmouth Streets know they're the best. They are the military dictatorship of the religious, I don't know, church. Excuse me. So onward to the Churchmouth Streets. My favorite. This is where all the Moscows are, if you can guess. And they all work as a group. Here we have these two, with our person that uses the heavy axe and a bow. Yes, she has a tomato on her head. Why? Don't ask me. And one of the extra things you get for actually completing the story and everything, you find out that a random person in Discord said give her a tomato, and the dev did. That's all it takes sometimes. Just actually say something, and you could get something that you like in the game changed to be something that you like. Simple as that. Next we have the average Dark Souls Cathedral boss, Owen, the Oakmouse Spear. She has drip, like most of the mouse girls, a big fucking spear. It is probably second command of the church. But unfortunately, in my time going through the education class with the Scholar's Nest, I learned how to not rapid fire stab with a spear, but also how to chain my smites together. Basically, what we can do now is not just stab 8 times per stab, but also smite 4 times per smite. A heal is where everything falls apart. These two monsters, one that's a leader and one that's a healer. But unlike everything else, these two actually work together well, giving clear callouts and knowing what to do, which is where you lose all immersion in this fancy world and understand that's not real, it's fake, it's just a game. But fortunately, they stay close enough that you can smite both of them. Which you would want to focus fire on one. Unfortunately, the healer understands that and counters it. But fortunately, because we are paladin, we have a lot of mobility. Why? Simple. It lets us be able to get to our teammates that we need to help, aka our friends, which are non-existent, that we do not have, because friends are a myth. But it's not all bad. Why is it not all bad? Because we're about to kill her, just like that, and show her that it is us, rabbits, that are the superior gender. And who's the leader of the mouse girls? Simple. It's Matt, the pilot to mouse. This fucking woman right here, I cannot count how many times she has fucking pinned me down and beating the fucking shit out of me in the corner by smiting repeatedly. I hate her so much because of that. However, it's not all bad. She also can make us fat. Why? I don't know, but she can. However, we can still slightly move out of the way. She also is very religious, screaming about her holy blade and protecting the weak and shit like that we do not care about. Because we know she does not truly care about weak people. All she cares about is a can of Chef Boyardee. And we will expose her for the fog she is. As we slowly slide back and forth doing the cha-cha, we are going to stab this skeleton mouse to death before she pins us in the corner and repeatedly smiles to death again. But you know, some people will not mind. This is her Holy Nova, which is identical to what we have. But unlike our rapid smites, which hit 4 times in a circle, she ties you up, throws a fucking orb thing everywhere, and puts you in this little circular box thing. However, things are not grim yet, because she, once again like all others, goes full forward, and screams she marches together. And she yields the ultimate ability of summoning friends. Yes, she has friends, and has a super ability. However, she neglects to forget that we have Rapid Fire Smite, and can take down near everyone, instantly, and interrupt her special attack. However, since we are so cooldown based, with our melee having a 5-second cooldown, our special having to be charged up, and our secondary being an automatic trigger on a 4-second cooldown, we do not have much control. However, it's okay. We are the better paladin to her paladin. And unfortunate for her, our Rapid Smites do damage to her through her Holy Shield. It does about 2. But damage is still damage. And you may have noticed that she tries to bring back realism by having her teammates scream about who's the front line, what's the plan again, having no coordination, trying to make you believe that this is a real thing. When it's too late, we already know this is a fancy setting and our immersion is ruined. Now that you've got to see everything, welcome to the Pale Keep, where we actually get to see what goes on. This is your gauntlet of gimmicks. Well, we're going to be the reasonable thing of just get damage and a bunch of XP to be high level and do more damage. The gimmicks of the ill includes a hop, which ties you up, spins you in a circle and shoots a laser slowly in a circle, while throwing orbs at you off screen that do fuck all. Probably the easiest of the gimmicks. But I'm not complaining. It's nice and relaxing to finally have a nice peaceful thing to do. Our next gimmick is the axe. This is your DPS test. Why? Because it halves the screen, does 2, halves the top side of the screen, and then increases to 3. That eventually covers the entire screen. But with the fact that we can stab 8 stabs per stab and smite 4 smites per smite, we are good. We are Gucci. We are fine. As it is already dead. And so we move on to our next gimmick, which is the staff. It does magic as a magic staff. And as you can guess from magic, it does a bunch of shit that makes you do math, because you have to be smart to use magic. Which is why I do not do magic and do not like magic, for I am not smart. But on the upside, there are worse gimmicks. There's a gimmick with 2 knives that's literally just the wolf goes again. But instead of it being horizontal, it's vertical. Wow. We're going to take the crown. Why? Because I don't know what the crit chance is, but I do know when we hit this many fucking times, there's bound to be a crit. Welcome to the pinnacle. Here we have the moon, and it's depressed motherfucker right here as she drops down. Well, she slides in. Cha-Cha slides to tell she's depressed, and she cries. She's in denial. If you're here early, before completing the story, she acts more like a woman and doesn't fucking say what's wrong. It's just censored, random gibberish knowledge, and she still tries to beat the shit out of you, like a true woman. However, we are also women, so we are going to beat the shit out full force. She also, immediately, instead of going full 40, she just gets a moon to set on. Cool. Who would have guessed? Rabbit the moon, and she sets on the moon. We are, however, in a bad spot. Fortunately, we iframed it. Why? Because fuck being smart. We just iframe. She is the one that casts a spell, put everyone in a bad mood, and, well, is the reason behind all this. She also is the only one that talks about man, showing that men do exist. Why? I don't know. She'll randomly bitch and cry and talk about only he understood, yet there is no guy. There is never a guy, and we don't know who the fuck this he is. Maybe we'll find out in the DLC that comes out soon. And by soon, I mean this year. But the year is ending soon, so eventually we'll get the DLC. However, in the meantime, we're going to poke her multiple times until she gives up, cries, and we win. However, she made a crucial mistake. By pushing us down, we can stab her and then smite her. Ah, she finally goes for 40. Well, she has a bigger moon, but she's a rapper now. Did you know that fun fact, the devil originally was going to give her a crown, but never did? The dev robbed her of her drift. But that is oh well, she does not deserve drift for being the final boss, because, well, she's depressed. As you know, depressed people do not deserve drift. If you do not like this, you can argue with me on Twitter.com/absolutely fucking nothing, cause I don't use Twitter. She also brings back a thing where she charges a undodgeable attack. What do you do against that? Well, simple, you wait for her to scream. Yep, she screams at you to steal yourself, as you simply steal yourself. And then go back to stabbing her. And we will continue stabbing, smiting, and running for our life. Because there was a giant golf ball chasing us, but we're simply going to sidestep the golf ball, then stab the moon. Unfortunately enough, like the moon, she is very big and slow moving. Now we could end her here now, very easily, but we want to see if she talks about man. Well, our auto attack killed her, that we have as an upgrade, and it crit her, so we don't get to talk about man, because we killed her. That is the basic gist of Rabbit and Steel. It's 2D, bullet hell. Women beat the shit out of each other, and you see them plunging into the orbits. I hope you had a good day with this shitty ass explanation that I don't even know can be considered an explanation.